This will be a moon reading based on the Gemini full moon. That will be a full moon in about 5 hours and 12 minutes. It's 7:33 p.m. November 22nd, 2018. I'm Gat, your host. Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. Now, this person I'm doing this reading for is probably one of the oldest people out here as far as being down with what I'm doing. We go way back. All right, but it's a lot of stuff. I'm just letting you know there's a powerful, full Gemini moon is going to change everything. Therefore, I also did my own analysis. So I'm going to send her that link because that's only for people that's either getting that video or getting this video on their own full moon. And I'll include it. But either way, that took a lot of work, a lot of time. So, of course, so I'm sending it to her so she'll get that link as well as with this video. A lot of people are benefiting from the moon signs. Some people feel they get more from the moon signs than they even do from just the other one. So we'll see how that works out. If that's true, we'll see how this goes. Give me a moment. I'm trying to clear a few things up. As always, when you're multitasking, you got to go back and tighten up a few things. Make sure they go into the right locations. Things of that nature. Looks good. All right. So now, the chart on the left is the transit chart. Today's, well, not today's, but Friday's full moon at 12:41 A1. It's either 12:41 or 12:43, I forget, but you say tomato, I say tomato. So we're going to go right around it, and we'll be covering everything, not just the moon, the sun signs, everything. But as you see, the ascendant is Virgo, but it's first house Aries. So there's going to be an aggressive tendency towards home, and you know this time people clean up homes, but children, home matters, homeland security, possibly military. Health is going to be a big issue, so you might have some health concerns coming on. You have to, because I'm aggressively dealing with my health because I got a few things going on. Exercise, health, healing, home stuff, children, daily activities, daily duties, children and small animals. So that's the main thing where the universe is going as far as the ascendant is concerned with this full moon. So the first thing you want to do is go to where you see her Virgo. Her Virgo is at the second house, and it's Pluto retrograde, meaning she may be getting ready to lose something. And this is the house of money, finances, and possessions. She may be getting ready to lose something. But again, like I just said, with home renewal, it might be something needs to go. Something may need to go. Might cost a little money. So hopefully you got the money there. You can work it out. And Pluto also rules the 8th house. So you have debt, you have credit, things like that. If necessary, you try to avoid using it. But these things, but something is going to be going as far as financial sector of the home. There'll be something needing to be replaced, repaired, renovated. This is all Pluto retrograde. And wow. Oh no. Wow. Well, her moon sign is Capricorn, so is mine, but mine is in the 8th house. And she's at 0 degrees too. See, remember, Capricorn can be career. And when you have Capricorn in the 6th house, that could be home business. But Capricorn also deals with karma. So I'm telling you, something has to go, but also has to do with her karmic debt. Karmic debt. So you're dealing with Virgo, you're dealing with Capricorn. And whenever you see that moon, you got to be careful because that moon might have a connection to Cancer. Warai moon Coeli. And as you see, there you go again, love at 0 degrees with that Cancer. And then Lilith is there, but Lilith is not retrograde, so it's not going to necessarily be repressive or internal. So some people don't believe in them. See, there's different mothers. You have the mother, universal mother, you have God the mother, but you also have your earthly mother. And Like the ancient Africans knew this stuff, I'm trying to tell you. But sometimes your mother, your earthly mother might step in. Because according to what I'm seeing, she may have some type of new love coming in. But the mother's helping bring it in one way or another. Now, Terry Nassan said that with this Gemini new moon, this Gemini full moon, is 0 degrees. That means it's basically like saying you're leaving chapter 12 and going into chapter 13. But even though it's a new chapter, it's still going to have some connections to chapter 12. So maybe some things are the past coming in or even being renovated. Because that was a big jump. We jumped from Pluto retrograde and Virgo all the way over to Capricorn in the 6th house ruled by Virgo, all the way across to basically Venus in the 12th house, which can be endings. But when you see a 0 degree, it could also be beginnings, something new. And remember, 6-9 is also family, education, teenage to adult education, land and property, real estate, ancestors, family, the heart. Whatever woman raised you when you were younger, Imon Coeli. Could even be transportation. Now, if you notice, her chart's a little bit differently, because normally Capricorn opposes Cancer, but it almost doesn't. It opposes Gemini a little bit, but not really. It's the way the chart was made. But I think we get the point across, and we'll learn more as we go through the chart. So now when you go back to the universe chart, 2nd house, which we were just talking about, Venus is with Libra. So this is going to be love, finances, some type of relationship or partnership or legal issue, even something with open enemies. So you immediately want to find Libra on the chart to the right. And wow, Uranus retrograde is going to hit that as well too. So this is definitely going to be some relationship shakeups. And remember, her 3rd house is in Gemini. The 3rd house is ruled by Gemini right now. It's a Gemini new moon. So it's definitely a universal shakeup. And what Jupiter makes you do, Jupiter makes you think about ethics and things like that. But things that you didn't like before, you'd be a little bit more willing to give it a shot now. Maybe because of these shakeups or something like that. But it's definitely going to be in a relationship sector. So this shakeup will be an attempt to heal as well. All right. One, two, three. So there you have it. Scorpio in the 3rd house. Scorpio in the 3rd house. Remember, the 3rd house is ruled by Gemini. Right now, Gemini is a new moon. Whenever they put Scorpio in the 3rd house, one of the major reasons why the universe does that is because Gemini tends to be somewhat shallow. And Scorpio is going to try to make Gemini go deeper. Go deeper. So this is the fourth house. So you might see the family getting into deeper things, communications. But you also got to remember that Scorpio deals with everything. It's power struggles. It could be will, inheritances, debt, taxes. Scorpio can be death and rebirth. It could also be deeper issues like what we call. See, when we say, like when I say spirituality, I'm talking about astrology, stuff like that. But when they say spirituality, they might just be talking about church, stuff like that. But it may be deeper issues that the family is finally wanting to get involved with this Scorpio moon, because something may have happened that makes them want to go deeper, and that might be why Pluto shakes something up in the home. Like, what is that? What's that? Explain that to me. What do you think that was? So that's why people may be going deeper. But again, just know what's in the eighth house, because that can appear in the family as well. But Scorpio can also deal with power struggles and stuff like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Because maybe this new moon, I keep saying new moon because it's at 0 degrees. Maybe this full moon energy will be such a way that they'll really want to talk about it. They'll really want to talk about it this time, and not just argue about it or say, that's not what I believe, or that's spookism, or you shouldn't talk about that. They may actually want to know why, especially if Pluto retrograde takes something or shakes something up, because Uranus is going to shake things up too. They both are. That's Scorpio, but then again, it's in the third house ruled by Gemini. And as you see, her third house is Libra again. But we already talked about Libra, because so it'll also affect her seventh house. But that's that whole Uranus. See, it's just it's a shakeup almost, because see, Aquarius in the seventh house is saying, hey, I just want to love. It doesn't matter who you love. I just want to love, and they don't necessarily want to be all committed. And that's another thing about Gemini. Like they'll be in a relationship with you as long as you ain't calling them all the time or really thinking y'all gonna have some deep bonding and shit. Because Gemini and Aquarius are both more about peace. Their own personal peace, their own, and they kind of like it. When I say open relationships, it could be open like that, like different people, or just open to the point that they ain't got to tell you everything, or you ain't got to worry about everything they're doing. So both Gemini and Aquarius tend to be like that. So with this Gemini moon, it's kind of shaking up. If you notice, the home with Pluto retrograde, but it's also shaking up relationships with Uranus retrograde. Now, how am I getting this? Because I'm using the chart on the left as above, so below. So I'm going by what's in their houses, and I'm coming right over here and seeing it in her house. But it's definitely a shake-up time. But I think through the shake-up time, remember, Scorpio also is a healer. People forget that. Scorpio is about death and rebirth. It's a healer. So sometimes you have to shake up things, because people are never going to talk about it until the shake-up comes. And if somebody did have an alternative relationship, that might be the talk of the town right now. That's part of the shakeup. Now, right now, the universe is, let me just explain. The moon is dealing with the internal. And if you notice, it's kind of close to Juno. So the moon on the chart to the left is dealing with the internal right now, the emotions and things that are hidden. But the sun, the fire sign, is dealing with the ego and the external. Now, when you look at the 6-9, that's Cancer. That's the true north node right now. So that's where life is right now. But when you go across the Capricorn, that's the past life. And the past life is a lot of karma for the 5th house or for the Leo energy. So you have to remember that, but we'll get to that in a moment. So it's Sagittarius in the 4th house, dealing with like foreign family perhaps, things related to foreign, the motherland, the home. And right now there might be some misunderstandings because of Mercury retrograde. But don't replace something just because it's acting funny, because that happens during a Mercury retrograde. And you might want to back your files up in case anything goes wrong. But with the moon and Jupiter, people are feeling a little bit more confident. Some people might even be a little bit more giving. And you have to remember that Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So in the 4th house of family right now, people may want to talk more, but unfortunately the Mercury retrograde may make it hard to understand. So you have to really talk slow and make sure you're trying to connect with people. Because many times it's like that. We finally get to talk and now I can't hear you or stuff like that. Because I have a relative that's always like that. It's always going to be some reason why the connection is not as wonderful as it can be. But again, you still want to know where is Sagittarius on her chart. So that's her 5th house, which we already said is under, right now it's under karma. So she may kind of be thinking about that. How will this all add up? Will I have to pay for this as far as karma is concerned? How will this affect me? What about that afterlife? Because that's that sun in Sagittarius with all these retrogrades going around, has people thinking. And like I said, right now that 5th house, which is Leo, the sun sign, is definitely going through Saturn and Pluto karma. And there's Lilith right there, retrograde. So Lilith is definitely going to go inward. And then Vesta also. Because anywhere you see Vesta, you have to be careful because Vesta will burn out your energy. And if you notice, she has Vesta in Leo. And Leo, that's her ascendant, the person to the right. So you understand. So right now she's feeling that karma, which is why she may be asking other questions. Even sometimes people that are tribal, they will be worrying about the motherland, so to say, because they're tribal by nature. So even if they're in America, they're still thinking about where they come from. And then look at that. That's her moon, which I've said I believe is at 0 degrees. But right there in Capricorn, because that's karma. And that's the 6th house, which we already covered. So definitely going to be transformations based on karma. And people have to be willing to talk. So the universe is causing all these shakeups to occur to get them talking. Like I said, it might be shakeups in the homeland because that might get you talking here. But they have to be to get the discussion going, to get the dialect going. And when you look at it, Sagittarius rules her 9th house. And there's Aries. But the good news is you have Juno there. And Chiron for healing. So yeah, she's got some type of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy going on. So that's why sometimes when you write these signs down, the person may manifest themselves to you. Because it's a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy. And the space chart is taking Leo into the 12th house, or the house of reckoning. So what she's going to be going through may be some type of soul connection, where she has some business she has to do with this Leo energy. All right. We already talked about the 5th house. Now, so now Capricorn rules the 10th house. So let's go to her 10th house. And right at her 10th house, looking pretty good. Saturn's there. Communication's good. And Taurus. So her 10th house looks pretty good. But again, with Saturn there, you still know it's kind of karmic. All right. Well, at least like I said, because that shake up in the 2nd house is going to affect your 10th house. But essentially, your 10th house looks pretty good. And your medium Coeli in your 10th house kind of is connected to your 8th house, because that's your true north node. And that could be it could be a highly sexual house with Taurus, but it's spiritual. Because some people have sex, but it's like spirituality to them. So that might be happening too. Because if you notice, that's her vertex crosses right there too. All right. And again, 7th house is spiritual, but that's what you got going on in your 8th house. That's why I told you. The 7th house right now is very spiritual, but you got to be careful because the Neptune retrograde is deception. And Mars right now can make things heat up, confrontational, but your Mars is right in Gemini, and right now Gemini is the new moon. So you have to be very careful in your 11th house around friends, association groups, and possibly family. You want to make sure nothing blows up. And with Gemini in your 11th house, that's a short fuse. That's a short fuse. Somebody say something, and with the universe is right now, they might not even be talking. They might not even be being disrespectful, but you're gonna think they are, and that's short fuse. So you have to be very careful not to be going off on friends, family, association, and groups right now, because right now with all these retrogrades on the space chart, it's going to be very easy to misconstrue. Some people say misconstrue, start stuff, assume, take offense, and that's not the wise thing to do. That's not the mature thing to do. And plus, right now, the universe is not consistent. All right. So the 7th house right now in relationships, and also when you see Libra on your chart, it's going to be more spiritual, but be careful. Cause like I said, you could meet somebody. It might already be going on, and you think, oh, he's spiritual, or this is the real deal, and blah blah blah. The sex is great, but it's part of this deception. Uh, Neptune retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Uranus retrograde. But that's, it's not a bad thing though. It just depends. I mean, everybody's different. Because you may like a guy might meet a female and maybe it was some deception, or maybe it was the alcohol, or maybe they was just feeling good and the sex was great, but then the next day or whatever, within a week, that he finds out some stuff about it he don't like, but at the same time he can deal with it. But it's still, all I'm saying is something. I'm not, when I say deception, I'm not saying leave that person alone. I'm saying it might be deception, but you got to make your own choices. But it's definitely in there. You can see it with all these retrogrades and all that. But it does look like that will be leading to sex, because it's in the 8th house, and that's also a true north node and a vertex. So this person is definitely gonna be a soulmate. All right, 8 is Aries. So Aries in the 8th house is gonna be off the chart. Wherever you see Scorpio, it's gonna be off the charts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your 4th house of family and everything. I said education, ancestors, the heart, land and property, real estate, the vehicle, health problems. Because Scorpio can be health problems, Virgo can be health problems, and the 4th house can be health problems. So be careful, watch your health. But Aries is gonna make that 8th house really be out there. And you can tell by the chart on the left, it's going to affect relationships as well as the 3rd house. But ironically, Aries is also where you have your Juno and your Chiron. So that's your 9th house, which could be Sagittarius energy. And there go that Taurus again. See, that Taurus is at your medium coeli, which is kind of like your life purpose. So that's interesting. And see, that Taurus has Juno. So yeah, so be mindful of your 9th house, which is Sagittarius energy, Aries energy, and because of this chart to the left, it could be Taurus energy. So be mindful of Sagittarius energy, Aries energy, and Taurus energy, because that might be somebody who you might find yourself in a serious relationship with. Now, 10th house in the career sector is Gemini, career and reputation. But again, Gemini could be creativity, it could be publishing, the environment around you, it's young children, short travel. But Gemini in the 10th house could also be people that have like part-time jobs, or they're working one moment, out of work the next. But that's at 0 degrees. But medium coeli is also medium coeli also works with the true north node, which is Cancer at 28 degrees. So the medium coeli is actually where your the new moon in Gemini, medium coeli, is actually where your 6th house is. And they're both at 0 degrees. So you got some type of stuff going on with Capricorn energy, but like I said, it's some type of karma. Some type of karmic debt connected to your moon sign, and that could always take you into the 8th house. But in your case, it kind of takes you into the somewhat into the 10th house. And then finally, the true north node, because that's for the universe. And my true north node is also Cancer, but mine is in the 2nd house. True north node in the 11th house, but that's ruled by Aquarius, because Aquarius rules the 11th house, and Uranus rules that. Nothing really there. So that should have answered everything. So again, when you hear charts like this, when you take notes, it's better. Then you'll remember, and it's just better because if not, you hear a lot of information, and it's a good chance we're not gonna remember most of everything we heard. When you write it down and stuff like that, like you say, well, like let's just do this real quick. Well, where's my money this week? Tell me about my money. Alrighty. 2nd house Libra with Venus. So now let's find your Libra. So Libra's in your 3rd house, but there's going to be some type of Uranus upset. But I've already told you to watch your money, and I already explained why. And then you could also follow up. See, even your Venus is still coming off an upset because still Gemini energy, because that's going to be an upset short term, and Mars makes it an upset. So then when you say, okay, where's my money? 1, 2, 3, 4, Jupiter with Sagittarius in the 4th house. But that makes you think it's going to be more like directed towards family issues or foreign issues. Maybe even foreign laws or something. Because that's what Sagittarius is. So you might even reach out for somebody, but you have the whole Uranus retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, and it's going to affect Libra. And even where you see Jupiter at on the chart to the left, Mercury retrograde is right there. So it could be even misunderstandings with money. But be careful. Like I said, just avoid the misunderstandings because the sun of Jupiter is looking good. But you just have to watch people lying or miscommunications because that's what Mercury is going to do. So again, we got a lot of sales going on. You can contact us. If you want to get started on your natal chart, information is right there in the description box. Just need the month, day, and year you were born, city and state, if not in the U.S., gender, and your birth time. If you don't have the birth time, the archangels can find it as well. But again, you always need the services offered and price list because I do a lot of things. There's a lot of people, they think I just do natal chart. No, I do anything paranormal, anything with the cards, anything, life purpose, connection with mom and dad, past life, present life. I do it all, so you want to make sure you're up to par with that. So again, on this natal chart, it's going to be a lot of shakeups, but pretty much it might be for your benefit. Really, when you get your natal chart like this one, you want to take notes. Therefore, you can write down, oh yeah, he told me it's Sagittarius, because you know if the person, whatever sign, or if something with the money, you would know, oh, he told me that was going to happen with the money and stuff like that. Because otherwise, you hear it and then you may not even remember it. So it's always good to take notes. All right, that concludes this reading. Happy holidays. God bless.